Let's start going a bit deeper into the various types of Japanese candles and what they usually mean for the traders. The first one that we see here is our typical long candlesticks. Long has to be relative to the size of the candles right beside it. Usually we will say on the average of the last 5 days. For example, I can use this AUD, Aussie dollar New Zealand chart here. You can see that this candle here, maybe let's zoom in. This candle is particularly long if you compare it to the past 5 days. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the previous 5 days or 6 days candles are a lot shorter than this. So we'll consider this a long candlestick. What do long candlesticks mean? Long candlesticks usually mean a big move in that particular price direction. And since within that time period, the price actually closed a lot further than the opening price, it is a sign for traders that the investors and traders are coming in and moving the market. So usually it will spark more following trades by other traders as well. Of course, we say that usually. For technical analysis is never 100% or it's not 100% sure thing. You have to actually look at the market. There are many various factors and there can always be a probability of your predictions not coming true as well. So you have to keep that in mind when you're doing technical analysis. Let's look at some live examples of long candlesticks. In this case, this is the New Zealand US dollar Forex currency chart, and it is actually for the year of 2019. As you can see here, if you compare, there are certain long candlesticks here. So let's look at this long candle. Maybe let's zoom in. It'll be easier. You can see there's one long candle here. So let's compare relative to the last 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the longest of the 5 days. So let's consider this a long candlestick. Hence, this long candlestick is actually an indicator of a big move in the upwards direction. So this opening price, it closed a lot higher and it continued to move up. You can see there's a long candle here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compared to the last 5 days, this is the longest. And this price move actually sparked the move downwards. This long candle sparked the move downwards. Obviously, there are some long candles which doesn't come true. Let's take a look. So this long candle predicted the upward move as well as this one is the most obvious. This long candle started this upward trend move. Let's find some long candles that didn't really do so well. For example, here, this is the longest candle out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the last 5 days. It started a downward move, but immediately there was a reversal, or soon after a few days there was a reversal. Or in this case, this can be considered almost a long candle compared to the last 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not particularly long, it's just slightly longer than the average. So you have to take a certain, you have to try and diagnose long candles with a grain of salt. If it's not a lot, like not 30% or not 50% longer than the average of the past few days, you should not consider it as a long candle. This slightly longer candle of the last 5 days or the average candle sparked this downward move as well. So, okay, this is an example of a long candle that did not spark a downward move. So let's compare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the longest candle out of the last 5 days. But in this case, it did not spark a downward move, and immediately there was a reversal on the upside. You can see this long candle sparked this upwards move. And for here as well, let's compare this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. So this, with this slightly longer body, is we can consider it like a long candle, but this did not spark a downward move. In fact, it actually started a reversal right here as well. This one, yep, this is a very typical long candle. This is the longest candle of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 5 days. So it sparked a bit of a reversal, but eventually it did trigger this big downward move. Here we have a long candle that came through as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So longest candle of the last 5 days. Started this downward move as well. Before this, another long upwards candle started a reversal on the upside.